Hello everyone. So in this tech video of today, we are gonna talk about FinOps. So in the next few of the minutes, we will be talking about what is FinOps and why it is necessary for you to know about FinOps and what is actually inside it and how do you become a FinOps practitioner in your software development or web development career, and what are the main ingredients and help how can it help you basically to prevent the chances of being laid off. So let's start the video next again. So first of all, what are the three reasons that you should be knowing about FinOps? What is FinOps is? It is financial operations, but in cloud basically. So what does it mean that why you should know about that is, first of all, it prevents your chances of being laid off because nowadays what is happening that a lot of companies are using AI applications and they are using AI coding agents that are basically writing the code, and they are using AI API models basically like Gemini or Claude or like Anthropic and all those kind of APIs in their applications, but their AI costs are very high and they are using most of the cloud resources for that, and their GPU compute and their storage, the data storage layer, it is giving a very high cost. And there are also unnecessary costs that is happening along with that, the AI inference where the users like write some or get some API calls and then get some output out of that, but those inference costs is also very high. So in those cases, most of the companies are actually investing in AI, but also they want that if an engineer is writing code, then they should also think about what is the architecture and how can we save money a little bit. And that is how the topic of FinOps come into picture. And if you are the one who is using AI to write code and create AI applications and also know about what is the right architecture so that the company is also able to save some money out of that, so in that case you are an invaluable asset to the company, and then company will hesitate a little bit to let you go. The next option comes is why you should know, because nowadays everyone can code, right? But you should know about this because it is somehow everyone is judging about your writing and coding skills as well. It becomes a skill in you that if you add in your resume, it will add a point, and it will always be better to know something and learn something better, right? In that case, so these are the things, basically knowledge that why you should know about FinOps if you are an employee. But if you are an entrepreneur or if you are in a startup founder, and you should know about this because the person you are actually going to hire, they should be knowing about this. Otherwise, if they don't know about this, then your cost will be very high and you will be keep raising funds from the investors, and it will be going like elsewhere. It will not be any adding any business value to you, right? So the main concept of FinOps is around this, that we should be getting the maximum business value out of each and every dollar spent that is done by the founder. One thing to keep in mind about FinOps, that it is not a one-person responsibility. It starts from the top levels used to the interns level till interns level. So everyone should be knowing about this. And how it happens that you come across like you bring all the teams together, like the finance, engineering, and business teams, and you talk about like this. Yeah, we are going to implement this feature, and this can be cost of it, and you should be able to prevent something as well, or you predict something around the cost that is going to getting incurred if you are going to add a particular feature. In that sense, then in this FinOps framework, basically you bring all the teams together and you talk about the cost related things. And there is always a saying in software development that you can't optimize anything if you don't have the visibility of it. So there are three steps in FinOps. So first is the visibility part, the second is optimizing part, and the third is culture part. So first, optimize what you do, that suppose you have an AI application that is running on cloud and you are using like AI models like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini in your API for inference or creating some outputs. And what is happening that you don't know about what is the inference cost, or you don't know about what is the AWS service or Azure service that you are using, how does it costing, and is there any extra service that I have oversized, or is there any extra feature that I have that I really don't know and costing me a lot in my actually application and monthly bills. So you should be knowing like what are the actual costs that is going on, and that will happen if you have the visibility. So if, for example, how you have the visibility is you tag your services, or you divide your teams and create each and every tags, or you classify your stuff into different groups, and then you see that how much that group is actually costing us. For example, that in AWS Lambda that you have, it is an processing or compute service in AWS, and if you want to see how what is the cost that is going on inside it, so you can go to the CloudWatch logs, and you can look at how much duration it ran and what is the memory used. On that basis you can calculate a little bit around that. So in that way you are getting the visibility, you are getting the knowledge that yes, this part is actually taking this much amount. The next step that comes around is the optimization part. So you can look at like, can I change some code, or is there any particular piece of code that I can optimize a little bit so that the cost or the memory processing power is little bit less, so that I can save some amount in that part. So that is how you optimize a little bit here and there, and you get a good amount of like time saving and money saving. For example, if you have your AI application has 10 steps, so suppose you are optimizing for 1 second in each step, then you have saved like 10 seconds, and that will also in future help you save a lot of cost. So this is second step that we have. The third step is FinOps is making it a culture. So you are having a weekly or monthly meets, and you're talking about this kind of architecture, this kind of code blocks that we have, it takes a lot of cost, and we have noticed that in the previous that we have already done in the first step from visibility, and we are able to optimize it, and we are going to take this kind of ideology forward, and in day-to-day life, like all the interns or whatever the junior developers, senior developers, what they are developing, they should follow these basic criteria to know that if we are going to implement this part, it is going to take a lot of resources and it's going to cost us a lot, and we can optimize a little bit, then why not prevent that cost to actually getting incurred. So that is always a third part that we have.